Holy smokes. This is a big trout. That is a monster trout. Hey there, Salt Strong family, this is Pat Ogletree, and in this video I want to talk about safe fish handling practices and a couple of tips that's going to help you execute these practices better. The first tip that I can tell you is just be organized. Make sure that you have everything that you need to land that fish, to take that picture, and to measure that fish and get it back into the water as quickly as possible right there in front of you. You don't want to bring that fish aboard and then have to start fumbling around looking for that stuff, so be organized. So make sure you have your lip grippers, your measuring tape, your landing net, and your camera all ready to go before that fish even comes aboard. So the landing net is tip number 2. Make sure and have the right landing net. And what we're looking for is a rubber coated landing net that's got as small a mesh as possible. The reason why we want them rubber coated is because it doesn't remove as much slime on it as those nylon roped landing nets. Now, the rubber coated ones do cost a little bit more, but in the long run, it's worth it to protect those fish. It's the right thing to do. So the third tip is when we're landing that fish, we want to make sure and keep the fish in the water as long as possible. If we bring that fish aboard and then we start fumbling around looking for everything, think about it this way. That fish just fought for its life for the last minute, 5 minutes, however long that fight was, and we want to take it out of its environment and put it on the boat. It would be the same thing as us running around a building 10 times and then jumping in the water. So we need to think about that whenever when we're handling these fish. Keep them in the water as long as possible, and if that fish is not dripping water when you're taking that photo, then it's probably been out of the water too long. So make sure that we're doing everything that we can to keep that fish in the water. So the fourth tip that I'm going to leave you with is make sure and keep your fingers away from the gills of the fish while you're handling it. These are the most sensitive organs on the fish and they're easily damaged. Now on a recent trip I was handling this really big trout, and because I wasn't organized and I didn't have my lip grippers with me, I had put my hand up underneath the fish to handle the fish, supported by its belly to get that picture. Well, in the heat of the moment I did not realize that my fingers were up in the gill plate until I saw the video afterwards. So the fish swam away fine. It was great. I did no damage to it, but the potential of damage was there, because had I been holding the fish the way that I was and it thrashed and I lost control of it, I could have did damage to its gills, and that pretty much would have been a death sentence for that fish, and we want to keep away from doing that. So lip grippers in the front, a belly hold in the back would have been better than what I did. Now, lip grippers can be great in some situations, but you have to make sure and not just hold the fish by the lip grippers. You can put the lip grippers on the fish, pull them up by supporting the weight of the belly, and make sure and have the control of that fish. You don't want it to thrash around. So because I wasn't prepared, I wind up holding that fish the way that I did, and I could have been better at that. So next time I'll make sure and have my lip grippers right in front of me each and every time I go out on the kayak. So each time I show the picture in the video of that giant trout that I caught, the number one question is, what did you catch it on? And I'll show you that. That is the Gold Digger 2.0 on a Mission Fishing jig head. And that little bait right there has been working so good for me here in Texas. Now, all the insiders know that's been following me. I've been up and down the coast for the past 2 months, up and down the Texas coast for the past 2 months. And no matter where I fish, whether it be in Corpus Christi, whether it be Baffin Bay, whether it be down in Port Isabel, that Gold Digger has really been doing a great job for me. I've had some really good days with this. I've caught some really big trout like this one that I show you here. I've caught lots of redfish, and I've even caught black drum with this Gold Digger 2.0, which is not a common catch on artificials. A lot of people think you can't catch black drum on artificial, but I'm here to tell you this Gold Digger did a good job on them up in Corpus Christi one day. So if you've never tried one of these, I strongly recommend you go to fishstrong.com, where we have all of our lures, all our proprietary Slam Series lures, whether it be the Gold Digger, whether it be the Slam Shady, the Fred, the Flamingo Joe. There's a lot of stuff in there, and if you're an insider, you get an extra 20% off this stuff. And we also have all the jig heads that you need for the rigging, whether it be an open jig head like this, or even your rigging hooks like your belly weighted hooks, the owner twist locks, and the new Haas Helix hooks. Those are all available in fishstrong.com. Now I'll leave you with one final question, and I ask this in jest. We'll never know the actual answer to this, but how big do you think that trout actually was? The problem was the way that I was handling it, because I wasn't prepared, it wound up flopping out and swimming away before I got a measurement on it. So I really don't know how big this fish was. I got a number in my head, but I'd like you to leave in the comments below what you think that fish was. That was definitely a fish of a lifetime. I appreciate you watching this video, and I hope you learned something that'll help you put some more fish in the boat. And if you're new to Salt Strong, just know that we are the best online fishing club in America, where we actually guarantee that you will catch more fish in less time save money on all the tackle that you need, and make friends fast, or it's free. For more information, go to saltstrong.com, and until then, I hope to see you in the Insider Club soon.